So, Gargrave railway station, about 8:15. Here in good time, waiting for the train
at just after past.
And where are we going?
We're going to Settle.
Why are we going to Settle?
Because we're going to walk up a big hill and then walk back here.
Okay.
Over those hills.
Over them there hills.
In mist.
Okay, that'll be good then. Pamela's keen. She's trying to get in a good spot on the platform. I think we're going the right way. Trains to Lancaster and Carlisle. At the moment, a very deserted Gargrave railway station, and we've already walked 0.8 of a mile to get here, so we've made a start. Elevenses, good. Yeah, just outside the Ye Olde Naked Man café in Settle. Got the Elevenses, and they're setting up for the Tuesday market. And then we're heading up, up and over those hills opposite, which at the moment are very, very, very misty. First ascent of the day. So all that practicing on the treadmill would have come in for a good. This is good stead now. It's making you feel good, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Probably walked about 3/4 of a mile out of Settle, more or less straight up all the way. Decent climb, probably 25%, 15% climb. Pamela's heading up in the mist, being pursued by a fell runner, or Dales runner. But apart from me chattering and the odd skylark, it's very peaceful. But misty, very misty. Not too cold, not cold at all really. I was just stopped by the remains of this sheepfold, or perhaps more substantial structure. Just come over the lip really from Settle, and we're into this area where there's a number of paths meet. It's right in the heart of this limestone country, and I'll show you some of the sights in a moment or two. But we've got Sugarloaf Mountain, Atomere Scar, and these wonderful limestone craggy features, quite distinctive. Yeah, so Pamela taking some shots. That's Sugarloaf Hill, the Sugarloaf Mountain behind. Not really a mountain, but quite a distinctive peak, quite a landmark. And the distant hills are covered in this rolling mist. It's a little clearer here. We've sort of come up and out of the mist a bit into this more sheltered area. And it's almost not quite a bowl, a true sort of bowl in the fells, but quite an attractive area if you like the limestone country. And this is Stockdale Lane, which that way goes back down towards Settle, and this way heads up and up towards Malham. So a good view of where we walked from. So we've left Stockdale Lane, which leads up to Stockdale Farm, which is the farm we can see in the middle ground. And then we've headed up now. This is the Pennine Bridleway, and this is going to take us up high again, fairly high, and on towards Malham. Pamela's got a red hat on. It's a bit breezy up here. The wind's got up a bit and it's got a chill wind. So I've certainly got my Jack Wolfskin cap on, just to keep us comfortable. Coming down off the top, and we're approaching Malham Village and Malham Cove. I didn't do too much filming over the top there because it was too foggy, too misty. You could only see about 50 yards, 50 metres ahead of you. So not a huge amount to see, which is a shame, because if you're up that high, if it's a clear day, you can see the features like Malham Tarn, one of the few lakes in all of Yorkshire, and of course Malham Cove, but not good views at all. But we've enjoyed the walk anyway, and I'll show you the views now as we're coming down towards the cove and to Malham itself, and we're going to have lunch at the Lister Arms. Yeah, so it's a little clearer now, but just to this left-hand side of me, as we come down, you can see, you know, the limestone pavement features and part of the cove. It's an interesting view from here because it's we're not looking sort of up the valley towards the cove. We're at the sort of the side of we're slightly higher than the top of it. But that's the top of the cove there, and a little bit of brighter weather sort of down in the valley. So Malham Village is directly ahead, and Pamela's red hat, she's quite a long way ahead now. She's getting excited because she knows that the Lister Arms awaits, where she's reserved a table, and we're going to have a decent rest. We'll have walked about, I don't know, 7 or 8 miles I think to this point, or by the time we get to the pub anyway. But the lovely views have opened up again. Yeah, and there's see a bit more of the limestone pavement above Malham Cove now. And there's a few times we've been up there wandering around trying to find the right path off. It's another much photographed part of Yorkshire, this valley and the cove. Our final approach into Malham. So a decent walk down the Bridleway, and there's a few vehicles here. We're not used to this. Cars going up the hill. It's around there, is it?
Carry on.
So the Buck Inn is behind us, and we think the Lister Arms just over this bridge. Oh, it's quite beautiful along there. We stayed here when we were doing the High Dales Way, didn't we? Is that right? And we had a very nice room. It was on the front here, looked across the green area.
Yeah.
And we had a very nice meal that time, and a good breakfast. We were well looked after. That was very good, wasn't it? We enjoyed that, didn't we?
It was really lovely.
It was good. So what did you have? We had a very good meal at the Lister Arms. You had a meat-free platter.
I did. I had some hummus. Some
halloumi.
goat's cheese, halloumi, olives, a lot of olives, crudité,
Salad, yeah.
bread
salad.
and butter, bread and separate butter and
Yeah,
oh, it was amazing.
yeah, they're good. And I had the local sausages, couple of sausages, mash, gravy, and a portion of sort of roasted root vegetables, so carrots and swedes and things. It was very, very good. And we had a nice sit down,
We did.
warm by the fire. So we've got about 5.5 miles to go back to Gargrave. And I've got the sticks out, got the shorts on, sticks out, and it should be a pleasant walk. Now, following the Pennine Way, actually, all the way along the River Aire back to Gargrave, and I'll do little bits of filming as we go along. So, just making our way out of Malham. There's the Buck Inn. We were just reminiscing about taking my mum and dad there probably about 25 years ago, something like that. Had a pleasant time there.
I don't know whether you can get through there or not. It's signed further down. I think that just goes around in a loop.
You think that goes round in a loop? The Buck Inn is a big place, isn't it?
It is.
It's a popular
Left here.
popular spot. We know we've got to cross this at some point. Here we go. Yeah, so heading towards Janet's Foss and Gordale Scar. We're not going there. We're going to Hanlith first, and then Airton. So is this the River Aire then? Was this
Yes.
something? This is the river.
Yeah.
So this is the River Aire. Yeah, so it's a lot brighter now, which is good. Still a little bit misty, hazy in the distance, but a lot brighter. So this is the River Aire, not far from its source, and it's really not much more than a beck or a small stream here. And yet I was reading in the Yorkshire quiz I was doing yesterday that it's the longest river in Yorkshire. About 74 miles, I think, if I remember rightly, something like that, which isn't really that long, but it's the longest river. It's longer than the Ouse or the Ure or the Wharf. That really surprised me. And it obviously makes its way down. It goes down as far as Leeds, and I guess it goes out into the Humber estuary after that. But you can tell how popular this place is for walking because of the access to Malham Cove, Gordale Scar, Janet's Foss. You see all the cars parked along the road over the other side there. So a very popular spot for walking. And it's nicely paved here. Just trying to work out what this is. We think it's a sheep. It's a very brown woolly sheep, we think. Hello. Hello. How you doing? Any comment? No, he's saying get lost. Yeah. So looking towards, I think over that way, directly ahead of us now, is Gordale Scar, and this wooded area over here. Somewhere inside there is Janet's Foss, which is the waterfall,
Oh yes. Yeah, I think you're right.
and then Malham Cove. Perhaps when we're a bit further away from Malham itself, we'll get a view looking
Yeah.
back at Malham Cove.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even the sheep is admiring the view, looking up towards Malham Cove as I speak. Yeah, that's good. That's good, isn't it, mate? Yeah. There we go. Behind us, Hanlith Hall. We've just come down the road through part of Hanlith, the hamlet or village of Hanlith, back to the River Aire. This is Hanlith Bridge, and the important thing here is to make sure we take the Pennine Way path, which is on this side of the river, and we're going to follow the Aire a little bit further. But the building just behind us is the rather fine Hanlith Hall. Absolutely lovely. beautiful spot on this promontory, and daffodils coming into bloom, and that's Hanlith Hall. So she's getting ahead, she's keen, very keen. So a little bit more following the Pennine Way. Airton, mile and a third. There we go. It's lovely, isn't it? Continuing to follow the River Aire, and we're getting to Airton, and more specifically Airton Bridge, and I think these are private flats and accommodation now, but a former mill building out here in the middle of very pastoral, very rural, idyllic countryside. And I think that's what we found so far this afternoon. The walking has been, pastoral for the most part, a little bit of up and down, but mainly walking along the river, grassy underfoot, nice and springy, not too muddy either. Very pleasant, very good walking, very typically English countryside. So a contrast from the limestone walking, the limestone country from this morning, and then you get these lovely stretches, very peaceful, very quiet, and very picturesque. So this is Eshton Moor. So we've come up from the River Aire Valley, or the valley sort of sections of the River Aire. So we're looking back where we've walked from, up onto this higher ground again, and then we'll drop down towards the Aire a little bit. So we're still on the Pennine Way, and it's a bridle way at this stage as well. It's starting to get hazy again, a little bit misty, and we're back into more like the limestone country now, up above the river valley. Yeah, dear. So this might be the final style of the afternoon. We get out of the field, and then we're going to be down onto this lane, which should take us nicely down into Gargrave. There we go, that's good. So it's been a really good walk today. The sort of walk I think anybody would enjoy if they like the contrasts, if they like the limestone country. Decent ascent. I don't know what we've done, a couple of 1,000 feet.
Yeah.
Aggregate of ascent today, maybe a bit more than that. We'll do the reckoning up, and then I'll show that when I put the map on at the beginning of this video. But plenty of ascent and descent, and sort of a day of contrast really, with the morning spent in the limestone country. Very good lunch break in Malham. It's a good place to stop, Malham, for a pub lunch or sandwich or something else. And then the afternoon, sort of walking by the River Aire mainly. Very English countryside, rolling hills, walking by the babbling brook, the rippling waters of the Aire. Saw a dipper, plenty of ducks and geese, oyster catchers, curlew. Been very good, and we'll be pleased to get back now, have a nice cup of tea, and then have something else to eat in a little bit as well.